Hey guys, since the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view is coming up on Sunday, I figured I'd give you my top 10 Hell in a Cell matches. Now, the first question would be, are there really even 10 Hell in a Cell matches that we could consider great? I don't know. Maybe there's about 8 of them that we could consider very good to great. For number 9 and number 10, I kind of had to pick random matches. For number 10, this is a pretty good match. I'm going to go with Randy Orton versus Undertaker from Armageddon 2005. Pretty good build-up for this match. I remember on SmackDown the build-up was very good. The actual match, I thought the exchanges between Orton and Undertaker were pretty decent. There was some nice spots in the match. I thought they worked pretty well together. The counters to the RKO were pretty sweet. Bob Orton got busted open. I think he had hepatitis at the time, so that was pretty scary. I know Undertaker was pissed off about that uh, because Bob Orton's blood was exposed, so that's not really a smart thing to do if you know you have hepatitis. Yeah, I mean this was kind of average though. I mean for a Hell in a Cell match, they really didn't do anything monumental, but still pretty decent stuff. Good enough to make number 10. Number 9, I'm going to go with the 6-man Hell in a Cell from Armageddon of 2000. We had Kurt Angle defending the WWF title against Rikishi, Triple H, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, and Undertaker. This is just a very fun match. Some people might think it was a clusterfuck. I know Kurt Angle thought the match came off very well. I mean, they were pretty much spread out. Uh, you had guys feuding with each other. You had Triple H and Austin feuding with each other, Rikishi and The Rock feuding with each other, and then Undertaker and Angle feuding with each other. So everything was pretty much spread out. They did a lot of fun stuff in the match. I think Triple H did a pedigree to The Rock on a car. Triple H and Austin were feuding, so they did some brutal stuff. I know Austin dragged Triple H across the cell. That was pretty brutal. And then obviously the spot of the match featured Undertaker chokeslamming Rikishi off the top of the cell onto a car. Not a car, a truck. The truck had like a haystack on it, so Rikishi fell onto the haystack on the truck. Still, it's a pretty brutal spot. The finish was pretty cool. Everyone hit their finisher, and then eventually Austin did the stunner to The Rock, and then Angle just barely got his hand over to cover The Rock to retain the WWF title. Pretty fun match. Armageddon of 2000. That came in at number 9. Number 8, I'm going to go with Batista versus Triple H from Vengeance of 2005. Yeah, I mean, this is a very good match. Probably Batista's best match next to his Undertaker match. They just put on a very unexpectedly just a great match. They used the Triple H used the steel chain. It was kind of symbolic of the fact that Triple H had Batista on a leash, so I thought that was pretty cool. I mean, they both took a lot of punishment in this match. The spine buster on the steel steps was brutal. The WrestleMania X7 spot to end the match was pretty innovative. They kind of countered off of that finish. So yeah, Batista actually went over here 3 pay-per-views in a row, which is pretty rare. So number 7, we get Judgment Day of 2002, Chris Jericho versus Triple H, the rematch from the disappointing WrestleMania 18 main event. I thought these two delivered. Triple H looked kind of sluggish here at this time because he was so jacked up and just too much weight on his upper body, so he couldn't really move that well. But I thought him and Jericho put on a great match. I thought Jericho looked great here. He's a great heel. He put on a lot of weight for this match, Jericho, because I guess he wanted to try to look like a heavyweight to try to compete with Triple H. So, yeah, I mean, they dished it out to each other. They brought out the sledgehammer. Tim White the referee actually got injured. I think Triple H hit him with the sledgehammer, and then he went flying into the cell. Then the cell opened up. Triple H did a DDT to Jericho through the announce table. That was a nice break of the table. Then they brawled on top of the cell. The finish on top of the cell was sweet. Triple H took a backdrop on the cell. That was dangerous. Walls of Jericho on the cell. Triple H did the pedigree to finish Jericho off. I like this match. I don't know about you guys, but I thought it was very good. So that was number 7. Number 6, I'm going to go with Shawn Michaels versus Triple H from Bad Blood 2004. These two guys, they tried to put on the greatest match ever, but it just didn't turn out that way. It went too long. It went 47 minutes. They did too much brawling. There was Shawn Michaels' elbow dropped through a table. They brought out ladders. Triple H was whipped into the ladder. Shawn Michaels took a backdrop off the steel steps. A lot of good near falls. Michaels kicked out of a series of pedigrees, and Shawn hit a super kick, and then eventually there was a lot of dead air, and then eventually Triple H put Michaels away with the pedigree. Still a very good Hell in a Cell match. Got to respect both guys. They did bust their ass in that match. Number 5, go with Edge and Undertaker from SummerSlam 2008. A little bit better than I expected. You know, they dished it out to each other. Edge hit a series of spears through to Undertaker through the announce table. Pretty brutal stuff. They brawled out of the cage. I mean, out of the cell, which was the first time in a long time. So, pretty good near falls too. A lot of good near falls. Pretty brutal stuff. Edge was actually choke slammed off the top turnbuckle through a series of tables, and then I think Edge took a tombstone on the top of the steel steps. So yeah, Edge and Undertaker, I definitely thought they delivered at SummerSlam 2008. So next up, we get number 4, Cactus Jack versus Triple H at No Way Out of 2000. Excellent Hell in a Cell match, definitely underrated. Foley and Triple H were definitely at the top of the games at this time. These two guys, I wouldn't consider either one of them fantastic wrestlers, but I just thought they were on at this time. Obviously, story of the match was Foley. Foley took the bump through the announce table, not off the top of the cell. He was like hanging off the side of the cell, and then Triple H brought the 2x4, or what was it, the 4x4 with the barbed wire on it on the top of the cell. It was lit on fire, and then they were brawling on top of the cell, and then Triple H went for the pedigree. Or no, it was Foley went for a pile driver. Triple H countered it into a backdrop, and Foley went through the cell and then through the ring. That was brutal. Then Triple H finished it off with the pedigree. It was supposed to be Foley's last match, but as we all know, it wasn't. So number 3, I'm going to go with Undertaker versus Mankind from King of the Ring 1998. Definitely one of the most talked about Hell in a Cell matches. You definitely need to see this match. It had 3 amazing spots. Undertaker throwing Mankind off the top of the cell through the announce table, and then Mankind actually got up, got onto the top of the cell. Undertaker chokeslammed him through the cell. Wow, I mean, that was crazy. And Foley actually chipped part of his tooth on the steel chair. I think he lost a tooth in the match. And then there was a nice thumbtack spot with Undertaker doing kind of like a backdrop to Foley on the thumbtacks. Yeah, I mean, just a crazy match here. And gotta give respect to Undertaker for going through with the match because he had a broken foot. Okay, so number 2, I'm going to give you at number 2, Brock Lesnar versus Undertaker from No Mercy 2002. I thought this was awesome. Definitely the most underrated Hell in a Cell match. They proved that you don't have to have a good Hell in a Cell match just by going on top of the cage. You could just keep it in the cell, and it could still be great. I thought Lesnar was a beast in this match. The story was really dramatic with Taker... Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman actually accused Undertaker of cheating on his wife, and then Undertaker had a broken arm, so he wore a cast. He was wearing a cast. Lesnar went to work on the cast, hit the shit out of it with the steel chair. That was brutal. Lesnar picked up the steel steps and just whipped it at Undertaker like it was nothing. I thought that was crazy. And then eventually Brock Lesnar won the match. Undertaker put Lesnar over here. Lesnar, only 25 years old. Got to give him a lot of credit for going through what he went through in this match, because I just thought this was awesome. So number 1, we get Shawn Michaels versus Undertaker, Bad Blood, 1997. Best Hell in a Cell match. I think everyone pretty much agrees with this. Shawn and Undertaker just have amazing chemistry. It's told a great story. The cameraman was kind of getting in Shawn Michaels' way, so he kind of stomped him and beat him up, and then they opened up the cell. And then when they opened up the cell, it just got even better with Shawn Michaels getting whipped into the cell, being catapulted into the cell by Undertaker. And they brawled on top of the cell. I think Undertaker did a body slam to Michaels on top of the cell, and then he kicked him off the top of the cell, and Shawn Michaels went through a table. At the time, we never saw anything like that. So these two just put on an amazing match. I know Shawn Michaels thinks this is his best match ever, and that's saying a hell of a lot. And then Kane came out, and we had a monumental finish with Kane and Undertaker starting their rivalry, and then Shawn Michaels was all bloodied up, and he still won the match. So that's my top 10 Hell in a Cell matches. All right, I'm running out of time.